guys, and welcome back to another episode of Fit and Focused for Remote Work and Digital Nomads. My name is Shurina. I'm a certified nutritionist, health, nutrition, brain performance, productivity coach, and just someone with a lot of passion for helping you guys to learn how to use precise nutrition and lifestyle and behavior tools and protocols to feel, look, and do your absolute best. And to be in charge of how you look and feel. A lot of people, I think, really don't realize how much power we have over our bodies and our personalities. More and more research even coming out on the things like how placebo or nocebo works through the connection of our nervous system connection between our brain and our body, and how by thinking differently, or probably more precisely, experiencing different emotional states on a regular basis, you can actually change your physical body. There is more and more research coming out about that. Like, for example, recent study, I remember hearing it on Huberman Lab podcast, is like famous neuroscientist this day. And he was talking to a nutritional psychiatrist or someone in the field of nutrition and neuroscience, maybe something else. And they were talking about this study, how they gave people a shake. And the shake was the same, like absolutely the same. And to some people, they said it was a diet shake, meaning, reduce fats, calories, etc. And to some people, they said it was a very nutritious, delicious, this luxurious drink that was really rich in everything, flavor, calories, nutrients. And people's bodies, they responded differently with metabolic processes depending on what people were told. And it wasn't just for some people, it was across the board for all of the people. Like how the blood sugar changed, how hungry and full they felt after that shake, and for how long, right? So what we think and what we feel actually changes what our body does. Because again, as we talked yesterday on the episode about how meditation makes you sexier, makes you feel sexy, and why vacations can revive your sexual vibe, especially with your partner. As we talked yesterday, feelings are summaries that our brain gives to us. Our brain summarizes all the information coming from all the internal systems and external environment, and it gives us feelings. So we act on that feeling. If it feels good, you're gonna do more of it. If it feels not so good, you wanna remove that yourself from the situation, that behavior, maybe that food, whatever that might be, right? So feeling is a shortcut of our brain to make us act in a certain way. Again, kind of like avoid pain and move towards pleasure. As simple as that. So guys, what you think, what you feel, it is really powerful. And you can change that also backwards, meaning you can change your environment, you can change your foods on a consistent basis, you can change your sleeping, light exposure patterns, your movement patterns, you can change some smells, some lights, some colors in your environment, and that will change how you feel. And applied long term, that will actually change your personality and your life. That's how powerful it is. If you're curious about any of that, how you can change how you feel on a regular basis, like motivated, up for it, confident, instead of anxious, worried, brain foggy. If you're curious about how you can change it through simple adjustments of your lifestyle, nutrition, and your environment, please get in touch. There is a link to schedule our call. Use it. It's free. I'll answer your questions and you can decide what you want to do with that information. But our today's podcast is not about that. It's about nutrition, as you have guessed from the name of this podcast. And it's the summaries that I so far heard, summaries of nutrition wisdom that I so far heard from people working remotely, traveling full-time as digital nomads, or from time to time. How do people who seem to maintain great health and fitness and productivity and focus, great and mental energy, great emotional states, how do those people manage nutrition, changing location especially, but also when you work remotely from home and you have to take care of your meals, and company doesn't provide any structure around that. Like if you were to go to the office and some meals would be provided, or you had your to-go cafe and kind of gave you a little bit of a structure, right? How do you navigate this space? So it's actually very simple. And I heard the same things from all kinds of different people who were solo and were couples, younger and older. It's very similar. And the reason why it's very similar, I think, it's because our brain works really similar. At some point, I shared that with a friend. We will be having lectures or courses at school, something along the lines, this is how your brain works and this is how to use it to get maximum, usability or maximum, all the good things that the brain has to offer, right? To make our life, our health better. But without further ado, let's talk about nutrition. Number one, what I heard over and over and over again, have a routine. Have a routine. If you want to maintain great health, great fitness, not worry about your weight or your energy or your sleep or your cravings and your appetite. If you don't want to be worried about all of that, have a routine. And plus our body, our metabolism, our brain, they all work better with a routine. Meaning, if you eat your food at certain times of certain kinds, your digestion, your metabolism will be primed to receive, absorb, digest that food and metabolize it in the best possible way. And also your appetite is going to be tied to those times. You're not going to be hungry all over the day, all over the place. You're going to be hungry at those specific times. Timing is very, very powerful for our bodies and our brain. And when you have a routine, you kind of feel like you have it together. Your appetite, your cravings, you don't have a lot of cravings and your appetite is good around your meal times. And then your digestion usually goes better and your metabolism, your blood sugar control are usually better. So having meals at the same time, and we talked on many podcasts, episodes here that, having breakfast, not too late, not too early, probably a good idea for a lot of you with protein, carbs, and fats. And then your dinner, 3 hours before bed, is having that at that time, most of the time, is probably a really great idea. Well, not probably, but not a lot of people actually stick with specific timings at the beginning until they get all the negative effects, and then they start thinking, how can I take care of my meals? So yeah, meal timing, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then no snacking, because if you keep snacking all the time, especially if you tend to put on weight like I do, it's just so much harder to manage the food amount. And we people are really good at storing fat, most of us, right? There are some individuals who don't seem to put on weight, but then their health might suffer in other ways. Anyhow, if you're the person who puts on weight and you're snacking all over the place, all over the time, throughout the day, then, it's going to be super hard for you to maintain your weight and with that, your health, because weight and health are correlated. So having meal times will really help with that. And then having a simple routine, meaning, what do you have for breakfast? What do you have for lunch? What do you have for dinner? And when I say simple, it means not tied to really cultural environment. Choose simple foods, things like, fish, chicken, yogurt, eggs, vegetables, and fruit, and things maybe like oats if you like it, or some avocado toast. Whatever you choose, just make it super simple and sustainable anywhere in the world. And the best part is when you choose simple foods, you don't need to read ingredients. You kind of know how they look when you shop for them, even if you shop online. And by the way, a lot of digital nomads do, and people who work remotely also do shop online a lot, especially now it got so convenient and so widely spread. So have a routine from simple foods. Over and over and over again, I heard from digital nomads, we just choose the same foods, yogurt, eggs, fish, people like different things, but they kind of keep it the same everywhere. And then you ask, especially if you're a digital nomad or, travel more often, how do I keep it also exciting? Well, then choose a meal or two when you want to try things. If you travel, choose times when you go and explore food. Maybe take a day and go for a food exploration, trials. They have all this kind of excursions where you go to places and you try a lot of local food. So if you are a person who likes to try like a lot of local foods, don't try it every day. Keep your meals consistent, but then once in a while, go and try things. And that's how you keep it all together, your health, your fitness, and also you get to enjoy new foods. And plus, guys, it's been shown in research that people usually get the most pleasure from novelty. Once you try something, it's not novel anymore, like your brain knows what it is. Now it can become your new staple because you like it so much, but trying things, it's usually one-off things. Take a day, try it all, and then get back to basics. So that's what I heard from a lot of nomads and people who work remotely, who are not full-time nomads, but do travel from time to time or like to explore foods in general. Well, take one day a week, one day in 2 weeks and try foods and then get back to basics. What are some other things? Have it all pre-planned. That's another very important aspect of keeping your nutrition together, working remotely, being a full-time or part-time digital nomad. Having it pre-planned, not planning every single day, every single meal right before that meal, that leads to decision fatigue and not such good choices. You just choose whatever is the most available, the fastest, the most convenient. And those things are not usually the best choices. So what I heard from nomads over and over and over again, people who work remotely, they have a routine and it's pre-planned. It's either delivered. There are a lot of companies and people who deliver ready to eat fresh meals. So they're either delivered or they make choices in advance and order each the same thing kind of for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, maybe from the same cafe. Or a lot of also nomads who are into cooking and like to be more in control of what is on their plate. They cook in advance. So they make meal prep once or a couple of times per week and they stick with it. And then when they finish their work and they're kind of already exhausted and tired, they don't think about food. They just eat that food. And what's also good about that is that if you're really tired and you don't want to be cooking and shopping, you're going to be making healthier choices if that food is already ready to eat in your fridge, because it requires the least amount of energy and you'll be not happy with wasting that food. Like if you cook your food, let's say once or twice a week, and it's in your fridge, your brain will be like very not willing to waste that. You're like, well, I have this food, like I don't want to waste it. For a lot of people, it's true. It's for me too. So that also, if you want to change your diet and you want to eat healthy, just get it all in advance. Stock up your fridge and you'll be surprised how more likely you're gonna get with eating that food. Because again, if you just buy it all in advance, you kind of like have to eat it. You usually don't want to be wasting that. Or if you pay for meal delivery service in advance and cut off all the chances of, canceling and getting back, you're going to be eating that food. So planning in advance works for those two very important factors, making you eat healthier because you don't want to be wasting that food when you already spend the money, maybe cooking time, all the energy, shopping, etc. And the second thing, it prevents decision fatigue. Now, if you have your meals figured out for the next week, you don't have to make any decisions. That's why I shop once a week. I cook the same meals pretty much. I choose different meat and fish and different vegetables. That's where the variety comes in. But the structure is pretty much the same. I eat my fruit and yogurt, usually somewhere around like 11 or 12. I eat some fatty fish, maybe sardines or sometimes some tuna, maybe some eggs and things like carrots and some nuts and seeds in like afternoon. And for early dinner around like 5 or 6 p.m. I eat my major meal that usually has a lot of protein, like chicken, fish, chicken livers or other livers. And then also there are some vegetables, a lot of green vegetables. I make sure to eat greens every day, like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, spinach. And then also some complex carbs, usually like either lentils, beans, sweet potatoes, and those usually my things to go, and then herbs, spices. So it's the same all the time, I spend the same amount of time, I have my timer, and it takes the same exact time to cook every single meal. So it's very, very simple, right? And that's what I heard from a lot of nomads. You kind of like do it in advance, avoid decision fatigue, and you start eating healthier. Online delivery of groceries are very popular among many nomads and available in so many destinations that you wouldn't even think about. Here in Mexico, on this east coast, where, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, where I am, and Tulum, Playa del Carmen and Cancun have a lot of options for grocery delivery. There are local apps that deliver from grocery stores. A lot of grocery stores like Chedraui, that is a local chain, or Walmart that we have here, they also deliver when you go to their website and order it there. Tulum, not sure. It's a little bit more like remote and not so friendly when it comes to different stores, but there might be also, I haven't lived there yet, might try it at some point. But anyhow, so online delivery for groceries, for meals, meal delivery, those things are also very popular. And the last but not least, a lot of nomads, especially who are more into health and fitness, they do supplement because they do know that with traveling, you are not sure about your nutritional profile at all. And you might not always, want to think deeply about your nutrition, trying to get all of the nutrients to make your body and brain work. So a lot of nomads supplement, and where they get their supplements, Amazon works in a lot of places. A lot of nomads usually just plan in advance. So if you stay in a bigger city, you go and get your supplements. We even have GNC here in Playa del Carmen, a smaller city, but we still have that. Amazon, we have it. Or again, you plan in advance and you get your supplements while you're somewhere else in a more bigger destination, and then you just get as much as you need to last you through your next more remote destination. And you don't have to worry about getting your essential nutrients that are important for your physical health, for your brain performance, for your good sleep, for your good emotions, to enjoy all the destinations and all the travels, right? Then you don't have to worry about all of these things all that much. And my to-go stack is very simple: good quality multivitamin, good quality multimineral, because again, a lot of multivitamin supplements do not have sufficient minerals because they just bulkier and not fitting in one pill. And then omega-3 fatty acids, 2 grams of EPA and DHA combined is a good amount. And that's about it, guys. The nutrition 101 for remote work and digital nomads, full or part-time. Let's recap a little bit. So have a routine around your meals, have your meal times, don't snack, especially if you're one of those people who tend to put on weight when overeating and you don't really want that to happen. Number 2, have a routine when it comes to foods. Choose simple foods for your meals and kind of stick with that. Add some variety, different fruit, different vegetables, different meats, etc. But keep it very simple and around whole foods that you can find anywhere in the world. Number 3, make decisions in advance, pre-plan it, pre-order it, pre-cook it to avoid decision fatigue and to also eat healthier if that is one of your goals. And I think it should be one of your goals because we all want to feel good, look good consistently, and also do our best mentally. Don't forget that there are convenient services like meal deliveries and grocery deliveries, all kinds of deliveries and cooking that can make your life so much easier. Number 5, if you want to try things and explore local cuisines, do that, but treat it as one-off occasion. Choose a day. Maybe if you want to explore it every week, every other week, again, choose a day, choose a meal, explore, and then get back to your routines. And the last but not least, get your supplement stack. Get your multivitamin, multi-mineral, omega-3 fatty acids. Stick with that. If you need any help with figuring out your nutrition basics and where you might be going wrong. I'm a certified nutritionist, so please do get in touch, book a free call. The link is in the show notes, and I'll walk you through the most foundational steps, what it is a good idea to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner to meet as much as possible your nutrition requirements anywhere in the world, working from home or from some beachy destination. So I'm gonna help you to learn how to, in a simple way, have most of your nutrition needs met, and then I'll also give you advice on the supplements side. And that's it, guys. So share this episode with other people who work remotely and don't really have their nutrition routine that supports their health and fitness and performance goals. Share it with other nomads. If you have questions, reach out. I'm mostly available, readily available on Instagram. I answer all kinds of questions, post my own meals there most of the time, and schedule our call to ask more specific questions around your routine. And that's it, guys. That's it for today. Get ready for more stories. We're going to have at least 2 guests over the course of the next couple of days, and then you might also hear from me about some other nutrition and neuroscience routines and tools, especially relevant for people working remotely, digital nomads like yourself, guys. So stay tuned, ask questions, and till next time, as usual, eat better daily.